Let's take a look at converting mixed radicals back into entire radicals. We have done this already in previous lesson, but with square roots. So just to recall what we did there, if we had an example, I'm pretty sure you guys remember this. If we have a coefficient of 2 and we want to take this back into and make it into a radicand, remember we look at the index. Index here is that invisible 2. So what happens is that this number outside the coefficient, when it comes back inside, gets squared because it must have been a perfect square root for it to go out. So when you bring it back inside, it becomes squared. And the 5 was already there, so it stays as it is. So in that example, this became 4 times 5, which then becomes 20. So our mixed number, 2 root 5, ends up becoming an entire radical root 20. We're going to do the same thing for q. So the only difference that would happen in a cube root question, if we take the same example, would be if the index here is cubed, then when this 2 comes inside the radical sign, instead of coming in and squaring like it did here, it will cube. Again, no effect on 5 because it was already there. And then 2 cubed will become 8 times the 5. So that becomes then 40. And these are all cube roots. Okay, so we always follow the index. It tells us when something comes inside, what power do we take it to. So in this example on page 49, we have 1/2 cube root of 80. So 1/2 needs to come inside. So it will again get cubed. So if you remember fractions, we distribute the power in. So this will become 1 cubed over 2 cubed times by 80. And I would always suggest when we have fractions and whole numbers together to write the whole number over 1. This just prevents a mistake or confusion of people trying to multiply that whole number. I've seen people trying to multiply that 80 to numerator and denominator. But the whole number is always a numerator over a denominator of 1. So when we write this out, this will become 1 over 8 times by 80 over 1. So now people can do this different ways. But if I just do all the steps, this means this is 80 over 8. Because numerators multiply and denominators multiply with each other. And you can reduce this to make that into cube root of 10. So 1/2 cube root of 80 becomes cube root of 10. So we easily don't see it how, if we want to take it back, we might not be able to do it. But if you were to input both of these values in your calculator, they will give you the same number.